This is one massive leap for gimbals and I'm super excited. Let's get into it.
Oh yes. Oh.
First up, intelligent tracking. This means my colleague Rob can focus on his walking, making sure he doesn't fall into the pond next to me, and the camera will just follow me very subtly, making sure I'm in frame. It's important to note that this is intelligent tracking and not AI, and not at one point have DJI said this is AI, intelligent tracking. The cool thing about the intelligent tracking is that you can do this just by yourself. By simply holding up your hand, you get the green light flash on the tracking device attached to the top of the gimbal, and now I can just move around and it will just track what I'm doing. And if you wanted to stop, I can just hold my hand out again like this. But better yet, like myself here, I've got Rob who's holding the camera. He can just press the trigger button for me. Rob, press the trigger button. And that will also track me, just like so. So this makes it dual operator in the sense of the tracking side of things. You can also position yourself where you want to be in composition wise, and it doesn't just lock it onto the middle. You do have that option within the actual gimbal itself, but composition wise, it doesn't look great. So my advice is to start off by holding up your hand. I've just stopped the tracking now, even though Rob pressed the button. Get yourself in the position, then hold up your hand again, and then now it's tracking me in a slightly different position. The great thing about the intelligent tracking is that my colleague Rob doesn't have to worry about turning the physical gimbal itself. It's following me, and this is why it's a step forward, a big step forward for gimbals with intelligent tracking, especially for DJI. I've been waiting for this for about 7 years. It's absolutely amazing so far. One of the nice quirky things I like about any new update to a gimbal is some things they don't really mention a lot of, and something which makes a hell of a difference. And that is this base plate right here. This is a substantial base plate, and as you can see, there's this plastic thing. When I initially took it out of the box, I was like, what's that? Is that just there temporary? It's not. It's got a little ridge on the front of it, and what that does is you can then put that right next to your camera and then tighten it up underneath, and it stops it from turning when it's on the gimbal. So what I found in experience, if you're using a heavier rig like we are, the FX3 along with a 24 to 70mm lens, that's like 1.4 kilos. If you're doing FPV mode, I think, after a while, that could loosen up, which means it tilts. But this added little plastic thing, which probably cost pence, has stopped that from happening and saves your bacon if you're trying to do an action shot, something like that. For someone who's used gimbals for a while, I take it for granted of some of the stuff we actually use. I'm going to mention the briefcase handle here. Now, most of the time, we film like this, in the underslung mode, which means you can get nice low shots and things like that. But quite often you forget that this can actually move. You've got a little bit on the side here. I will just adjust that down. It's got some good teeth on it. Stop it from moving accidentally. Now, by just adjusting that, I can take this much higher and then do different positions. The briefcase is kind of, I say the briefcase handle is kind of understated, but it's very used all the time. I personally love the design on it as well. Our current setup are two RS3s. One is a Pro version, and we can't actually shoot vertical. So this is the first time we've had... What? Gimbal locked or unbalanced. Mission failed. We'll get them next time. Let's talk about the balancing of this little fella. One of the things which I constantly find really annoying about balancing a gimbal is not the lock, surprisingly enough, even though I'm struggling with it, is this bit right here. And I'll tell you why, and that is because that is the hardest bit to get right, because all the weight is pushing down on it. But DJI have been very clever on the Mini, and they have Teflon coated the metal part here so that it's easy. Still seems very stiff, but it's a lot easier to move. A lot easier than an RS4 Pro, which is actually carbon fiber. And then you can just lock it off. So all of these, that's Teflon. This bit's Teflon. The Teflon coating, I was a bit like, is this just another kind of a gimmick from DJI to say, yeah, it's Teflon coated? But no, it actually is a lot smoother to move these parts about to get your camera balanced. Let's talk about the battery life in this little fella. Now, it is really good. First off, you get 12 hours of running time. Now, I caveat this with how much you're going to use it in the sense of the speed, movement, that's all going to drain the battery. And especially if you've got the cable attached to your camera, which is charging the camera, that will drain it a lot. But if you don't have any attachments and you take it quite easy, you should get about 12 hours. I haven't tested this, but there is a better thing. This has fast charge on it. This means that with 30 minutes worth of charge, you can get another 5 hours, which is fantastic. So if you think about your day, breaking for lunch, doing some shooting in the afternoon, charge this up for half an hour, and you're good to go. My final thought on the battery life, unlike the RS4 Pro and the RS4 normal one, whatever they call it now, you cannot change the battery. On those, you can swap out the battery. And I think this is why they implemented the whole fast charge situation to get around it. Also, while we're on this section to do with the battery life, if you can't detach this, that also means that you can't then rig this up to a car rig or a tilt-a-float system. So just be mindful of that. We've gone for this because we have the RS3 Pro, which is still detachable, so we can still use it. So we've got two setups. But if you're rocking just one gimbal, just be mindful of those few points. This is only 890 grams, and that is very light for a gimbal. We have the RS3 Pro, which is actually carbon fiber, and that is heavier than this. Now, obviously, if you put your payload on here, this is an FX3 with a 24mm Sigma lens, comes in around about 1.2 kilograms. So your total weight here is just over 2 kilograms, more than manageable. If you've been following our channel for a while, you know that I harp on about quick setups, lightness, pack light, be nimble on your feet, get going. And that enables you to be a lot more creative and not get so tired. So the weight is very good and it lies flat as well. So they have considered it, everything. And this is why it's called a Mini for a reason. But we're replacing our RS3 with this because of all the other features. So guys, if you like to pack light, maybe this gimbal is for you. Right, this films portrait as well, which means you can swap this around, but there are some certain caveats to this. You still need to balance two axes. So how quick is it to do? Let's put a timer on it now. First thing you have to do is switch it off. Take this clip here, unscrew it, push it in, but first of all, you've got to unclip this, move it up because it's going to get in the way of this motor here. Now push this in to release the grip. You can see these grips here like that. Then you take it, put this bit here, clip it in like so, like that, re-tighten it up. Then what you need to do, if you're experienced with balancing gimbals like I am, even though it looks like I'm fumbling, you then need to lock it off of where it's going to be sitting. So first point of call, balance this bit first. Let's unlock that. See how it works. It's a bit heavy on the bottom, so let's unlock it here. I think it's around about here. We move it up just a little bit more. I've been using gimbals for 7 years and it's still, that's good enough. I've been using gimbals for 7 years, so this is relatively clear. Next point of call is this axis here. If you watch it, it drops immediately the other way. So thanks to the Teflon coating, it's easy to move and balance. Still moving too much. A little bit more, and we're good to go. Switch it back on and stop. Now, on your screen, you'll see how long it took me to balance that. It's not a long time, but if you're on a shoot where you require portrait and landscape videos, I would still favour going over buying another one of these and have a dedicated camera set up for portrait stuff. Or you do your landscape first, then your portrait stuff. But unlikely you'll be able to go, oh, let's film all the landscape, then the portrait. It's good, but it's still not perfect. The only way you're ever going to get perfect portrait to landscape if they do some sort of 360 roll cage on it where you just twist it, but that requires even more balancing. But DJI Mini 4, RS4 have done a good job of switching it up. You can see that it's totally out of the way of the motors. Let's talk about the user interface. As always, DJI have come up trumps with it. As you can see, I'm swiping down from the top, bottom, and then you can then click in, go through all your different settings, swipe up. You can calibrate the actual gimbal itself, which I recommend, and when it's green like that, that means it's well balanced. So let me show you the menu for that sort of shoulder rig or handheld look, and that's where you click on this button here, change it to their new responsive mode, then switch the menu to fast. That will give you that whole handheld shoulder rig look. So we've got to the part where you know everything you need to know about this gimbal now, but who is it for? Well, considering that I film professionally and I bought it, I'd say definitely professional use, and if you're first time into gimbals, and if you're replacing your RS3, I think that is who it's for if you want to step up a mark. I feel like this is definitely a step up from our RS3. If I had an RS4, maybe not so much, but I think the DJI don't say AI, intelligent tracking module is definitely a notch above it. So if you wanted to go for this is £339 and $369 without the briefcase handle and without the intelligent tracking. But why would you go for that? I would then step up to the next one. I think it's around about £419, not sure on the dollars for the briefcase handle and the module on top. You can then go up to a creator version where you can then attach your mobile phone as well. So if you are somebody who films with your mobile phone, that would be a great one to go for as well. And there's only one company out there who I think come close to competing with them who are slightly cheaper, and that is Hohem iSteady MT2, and the video is coming up next if you want to know more. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you soon.